interesting that they develop a new
what we do. We go to Evanwood.
You had a reason to do it last time.
X, do you have a reason to go to Evanwood?
I
Alright,
can find.
never mind. Nah, it's all good. I could find one too.
Let me do the recap and then we'll figure out what we're going to be doing here. We'll go from there. Okay, so last time on these channels, Echo, the Misfits once again continued their adventures on the Cloud Scraper as they steadily make their way back to Sethret. The Misfits are currently 7 days out, and we saw the departure of one Assad the Peak. And the group finally was able to contact him and confirm that he has gone back home to Riveria for the foreseeable future. It was taken different ways for different people, but the Misfits press on. Solora was able to speak with her sister last session and get some more information about what she's going through and what's going on in her page. And we got a exit date for the ambassador Aronica for leaving Riveria in the next 14 days. And to wrap up her investigation in the spot. She asked Solora if Gerbo was expendable. Solora insinuated that he is not. But it seems that she is working out a solution for concluding the spy issue in Riveria. After which Solora has given her leave to go where she'd like. A couple sessions ago, X informed everyone about his new powers and what he's going to be doing with those. X was able to speak with Bill Braun's contact person, Fablin, and arrange for the Light of the Lost to go to Arena and investigate the claims that their financier is a financier of the Black Order, though he did ask that they reach out to him before acting. He also arranged for them to meet him in Sethret in 15 days' time, which would give him enough time to get back and reestablish himself before they show up. The meeting to be of the more in charge members of Light of the Lost as it currently stands from a structural point to get the ground rules on how X would like to move forward. X was also able a few days later to speak to his cloak, the Amidas, to ask them to meet him in Sethret in 8 days' time, which would be the day after the Misfits arrive, and 2 days before. 4 days before the Light of the Lost arrive, as X has been trying to get some time in with his cloak and to reestablish where things are with them. I believe that's the main things that happened. Anything that you all like to mention for the record?
No.
In that case, we will pick it up at the start of the morning. As it currently stands, I do not believe any of the Misfits at large have any time-sensitive things they were doing day-to-day. Simply just using the day-to-day ability to have every conversation possible. But I really don't think there is anything that was actually time sensitive. So Laura is waiting on information about the eggs. But her grandmother told her if she could not find another source, there will be one waiting for her in Sethret. Midas was checked in with Milo, and once again warned him about the future war. Though he caught Milo at one of the most recent times. So Milo is still very young and has no idea what Midas is talking about. And still in the Feywild, of course. He also spoke with Carlin, his current head of Whispers, I believe his title might be, about the shipping company and how things are going with that. Ships move very slowly in the water, though, so there's not much for that to progress anytime soon. He did check to see if any of the current pirates on board would react to the note, "You are a gentleman and a bastard." None of them did in any way that would be what he was looking for. I do not believe Samson has any time-sensitive lines in the water either. May, of course, does not. Nor does Davina.
I guess the only thing I really want to do is scry on the newspaper.
Oh, that's newspaper. It pretty much is. Let me double check the map. I think you guys might be in a new time zone now.
We got the watches.
Time box. You guys did get time boxes.
I thought we named them watches.
I don't think we did. It was brought up, but I think we're gonna have it be a time box for now, unless you guys do want to call it a watch. It's not a watch though. It doesn't go on your wrist. I guess it's not overly important to be a watch. But...
Yeah, we called it a watch because you watch it.
They can be watches. Let's see, you guys were in SN1 for 2 days. You have 7 days left. Yes, you guys would be just now passing into a new time zone. So as you guys awake, you make your way above deck. It is much colder now as you're moving into the Frostford, actually. Flying over land instead of water. Very, very different wind patterns. The ship is... oh, man, Assad was the one who knew how to do the sails really well, too. But
no, hold on. Me and Solar got our shit too.
How to fly the ship. Assad had mastered how the actual sails work. So with the buffet of winds that come from flying over land, there's a bit of jostling of the ship, and some of the night crew have to pull a little extra time to help with the sails. But you all are progressing without much issue. And as... One moment, please. Okay. Yeah, so as a time box begins to run out, it is about time to rewind them, as it were. That is also the time for the scrying, if you'd like.
Yep.
All right. Let me track down this music again really quick. So as you scry, once again, your vision is pulled to wherever the man on the moon resides. And as your focus comes in, you once again hear the now familiar background music playing. As the man on the moon, as the man on the moon is adjusting in his wheelchair, looking and watching all.
He's in a wheelchair now?
He's always been in a wheelchair.
Oh.
Put a picture of him up again. As he's adjusting in his wheelchair, watching all the orbs.
Wait, where'd you put the picture?
I'm loading it up. Hold on.
Okay.
Would it be on your screen or?
Um,
Oh, I see
Yeah,
that.
the stream.
it's not. No, give me a second, guys. It's not anywhere yet.
Is it somewhere yet?
No, go, give me a second.
All right.
I'm actually gonna just take.
It's the music's fault.
For being so upbeat.
Yep.
It's giving me MSN vibes.
It's giving you what?
MSN, like when you like return on that old that MSN had. But also, we are not endorsed by MSN, so pay us.
It's giving me the what was the hipster alternative to American Eagle? There was the other store. It was the same shit.
Oh, what's that store?
Hollister.
Alistair.
That was the name.
It's not giving Hollister.
Sounds
I'm
like
going-
you are an expert on giving, so I don't know. I guess it's not giving.
I put it in the NPC category.
Oh, Chris, X is gonna have a question for you related to something that brings. Can I tell him above board or shall I wait?
Yeah, just wait.
You should.
We gotta fill some time, anyways. If you go to the NPC drop down in the Misfits, he will be there.
Sheesh. This motherfucker looks like a menace.
Every single time I've put a picture up of him, and this is the first time you've got any flags. That's fascinating.
I guess.
Like a menace. He is very cheerful. So as all the huh?
Seems like it comes from a dark place.
Wow.
I guess that's all I'll say right now.
As the sky goes pop up yours, he looks directly at yours. You see him looking to other ones, and he waits a few moments to kind of bop to the music. And then he says, "Good morning, Elestria. Welcome, it's me again, the man on the moon. Bringing you the daily information that keeps this big old ball spinning. Here in KH1 time zone, we have the news of Craghammer.
KH1 time.
KH1 time zone. King's Night and Noon have reached new agreements for resource sharing, long championed by young dwarfs of iron ore. Under the new agreement, profits from mines will be shared equally between light shifts. Outer nations continue their threats of independence, but the King of the Mountains remains firm that all dwarfs inside Moradin's palisade are his to command. We keep eyes on growing tension as independence continues to stir. Who knows what's in store for tomorrow's Craghammer? I certainly don't, but I'll keep an eye on it. That's all we have this morning, cats and kittens. But come on back here tomorrow and see what we have for you. I am the man on the moon, signing out. And you see him put the medallion back on, and the sky cuts.
As Samson finishes reciting this to the group, he looks to X and says, "You didn't mention the Black Order."
Maybe he needs to do. It's a good thing. Yeah, it's a good thing. Let him do his research. He might find out something that I need to know. Although I would have rather him not known anything that was going on with our dealings.
Anything echo from one of you guys?
I heard. Did you hear echo?
The music was echoing for a moment. It's done now. I don't know what that was. Sorry, continue.
I would have rather him not known, but it's there now. Maybe he has to do his research to find out more information.
Is it echoing right now?
No.
Because I'm muted. All right, cool.
Midas will mention. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Midas will mention that the man on the moon did say he had to figure out which region it fit in. So maybe Craghammer is not a region where this information will be relevant.
It also does sound like they got their own thing going on right now.
He did say reporting from KH1 which could easily be Craghammer 1.
You have a map
so
of
maybe
time
using.
You said we have a map?
Yeah, it's in the found documents, the time zone. Oh, sorry, it should be KH, not KH1. No, I'll keep it KH1 because that sounds cooler. So that's now renamed. It's in the found documents. Yeah, you guys found the map of the
I see it. Oh, and his picture's here.
No, I knew about the picture. It was just the wheelchair that threw me off. I guess that's obvious. I apologize.
Wow. I need some help from you. You're a pretty creative fella. What types of stories have you heard that brought good cheer to towns? Stories or songs?
Oh well, there's countless. What are you dealing with that you need cheering up from? I think that could determine the song better.
So remember I told you about the mask that I hold. This mask will take shape and be formed. And Brian, tell me if like I need to change anything what I'm saying right now. But this mask will take form based off what I wanted to represent and display. And when I want folks to see this mask, I want it to be of something that brings hope. I want it to be of something that doesn't terrify them.
Okay. We're at a starting point. What's that something for you?
The sun. I remember when I first saw the light.
You want me to walk around as the sun?
No. Listen. It's
All
not
right,
for me. I'm not worrying about for me. I'm worrying about what will be representation for others. So if you just know of a song or a story,
when I do a song or a story, I embody and I represent that. So, which is why I say the sun, and you want me to be the sun. You want me to figure out how to evoke that emotion through music? The sun?
No, I think you're taking this a little too literal.
I have my pipes. I just, you asked me to do a song about being like the sun. I kind of take it literal.
Not one that you've already created, but one that you've heard in your travels that
makes me feel like the sun. You realize how that's just as hard?
No, not the. Forget the sun. All right, forget the sun, Seth.
Okay.
Just any. Were you in a town before and you heard a song that brought them joy and brought them cheer? I would like to hear a song that brought some others cheer because it might help me and give me inspiration.
Okay. So, Samson pulls out his lute and pulls out like a little twig with a thin piece of, well, not thin, like thin piece of rope that's about, a quarter inch thick or a quarter inch wide, right? And he starts using his lute as a violin, and he puts out the beginning to the chap song in the tune of the thong song. Them chaps.
Um, the what again? I'm sorry.
Them chaps.
Like this cowboy chaps.
Like assless chaps.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is what Samson is choosing to do.
And is Samson now embodying chaps on his body?
Samson is giving this performance, you know, it's full gusto. Like, he does let it be known beforehand that this is, once again, for X as a benefactor. But, yeah.
Go ahead and roll performance. Let's see how you do.
Ooh, okay. Let me pull the app up.
Mm-hmm.
You said performance?
Yes.
Okay. Performance. Oh, sorry, I think I rolled twice.
Oh, you get advantage because it's something that your pipes would relate to. $21.
21?
It's pretty good. Oh, it's really good. 21's really good. It's a great rendition of the Chaps song, apparently.
Ooh, them chaps so scandalous.
You feel teleported back to the time and place where Samson heard this. You can just see the smoky den of a tavern, and the glowing orbs of light just to, you know, illuminate the person on stage as they run across the tabletops, singing this song.
Can you give me 1 second?
Yeah.
What does he have to do?
Take a call.
I gotta take this call real quick. Sorry.
What you about to say about to go on the full performance?
I'll just actually react to this. Is this what I was looking for, or is this off the path?
This is so awful bad.
That's hilarious.
While he's away, I can tell you what I'm thinking about.
Please.
A mix between the Ambu Black Ops mask, actually. Not even a mix, just thinking about Ambu Black Ops. Particularly, 1 second. Trey Lance out for the season.
He's probably out for 3 years.
Damn.
Broke his ankle.
Yeah. They said surgery. But all right, so particularly I'm thinking about going with a combination between the Ambu Black Ops mask, right?
Mm-hmm.
And thinking about Kabuto's, because when Kabuto was donning that, he's also like a healing ninja, right? So looking at Kabuto's mask, but then all of them had some type of animal, you know, so it'll be like the representation of whatever animal like channel. But I was thinking about something that wasn't too like dark or grim, like a white mask. Kabuto's joint has the triangle. You looking at it?
I am.
Yeah, and then like the little designs, like the painted designs on it. So like leaning towards something like that.
Okay.
I didn't want it to be overly big. You said what?
Corny.
I didn't want it to be overly big. That's not X's style.
I didn't hear the design. I just popped in and said corny.
Also, give a look at the bleach mask too, Greg.
I didn't like them. They were doing too much for me. Now other people can wear them. I don't care in the light of the laws. But I did look at the bleach mask. I'm like, this is giving too much.
Okay. Cool.
I like simple. So yeah, so still works out, but this is what I'm going through right now.
All right. And you want that mask to inspire hope when people see it?
The one from the Ambu Black Ops?
It is kind of. I don't know, man. It's not really a smiley face. It's just more of a.
Oh, we had it. It's not a weird smiley face, but it's like a cute animal.
It's a disturbed animal. Well, it's not disturbed. It gives a very interesting feeling because the emotion's weird on it.
But look at this. You see this bird one? It kind of has a smile. No, it doesn't.
Some of them do kind of have a smile, but mostly they're frowning. And most of them. But it's your magic. It can be however you want it to be.
Honestly, like that's part of it. Like it's like we were like, well, X. You know, he was this like little emo kid, right? But you can still see the mask, and once you understand what the mask represents, you're like, oh, I don't want it to be a smiley mask.
That's what you're saying.
To be completely honest.
Well, you know, once like you wear it, and that's what they recognize that mask with your kind acts, so it will have its own connotation eventually.
Yeah.
But as we return to the moment, as Samson finishes his quick rendition, what do you guys do? Oh, well, how do you respond to him?
Thank you. Any performance I've learned from my book of friendship deserves a form of gratitude, and so for that I say thank you. But Samson, assless chaps is not what I was going for when I was asking for inspiration. But you know, you might want to lay off the spice early in the morning, my friend.
You might be right. Assless chaps is probably not what I would have went for on a sober mind on a ship full of dudes either. So thank you for holding me accountable.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go, if we don't have anything to discuss, and meditate and probably think about this mask design, as I was saying.
When you get something, let me know.
And try to get the assless chaps out of my mind.
What?
I'm gonna go meditate, think about my mask, and try to.
You cut out again.
And try to get the assless chat off of my mind.
Okay, while you do that, I guess I'll go keep the ship afloat.
So, X will go through his meditations. Samson, you're putting more magic into the. Okay.
Keep in mind that Samson didn't tell anybody how the ship works. So when he says that to X, it's not like a, you know, they've seen him going down there and concentrating around it, but they don't know that he knows anything about it.
Well, you guys did have a moment all together doing it, so they everyone's aware that magic has been put into them.
Yeah, they don't know how much magic.
Correct. Midas has gone down twice to do it before as well, though not the same time you have. I don't believe. He didn't crack the mystery. I believe you have. Today is the day you need to reload it. I believe.
I thought so. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm gonna go reload the brimstone.
Okay. You're putting the full 40 in there?
Yeah.
Dope. 2 more days of flight. As you all proceed, Theron will approach. Theron will approach you, X, and he will say, "X, with Assad's departure, would you be willing to learn a bit about the sails?"
Who's gonna teach me?
Don't worry, I won't stab you this time.
You understand why I'm a little wary.
Well, we'd also be above deck, so there's that too. It is important that the Misfits be able to man this ship alone if need be.
X looks Theron in the eyes. It says, "So you have my word that you will not try to cast me off of this ship while I'm on the sails, or stab me in my eye."
He just chuckles a bit. X, I have no plans to do anything untoward to you, except teach you how to work the sails of the ship.
I guess. I will come. I'll learn.
All right. First, we have to go below deck. I'm kidding.
Yeah. No. It's not funny.
It is funny.
That was pretty good, but it's not. It's not a joke. I appreciate.
Theron kind of chuckles and claps you on the shoulder. Understood. I'll refrain from making it, but take some advice from an old man. You have to laugh at these things. As they eat you up on the inside.
Let's go.
So you all go above deck, and he does begin instructing you on how the sailors work, how to best maneuver them to work in concert with whoever is currently flying the ship, which I guess at the moment will be Solora. So he's teaching you how to best understand what she's trying to do, how you can kind of see how the ship's turning, how the winds are coming in and affecting it, and to kind of start trying to anticipate the changing of the breezes and how different things in the landscape affect the upcurrents. And like he's pointing to like mountains and valleys and how that is very drastically changing where the ship is in the sky. And give me a, let's see,
If I'm good at animal, oh, you know what, Brian?
Oh, you have
Would I be
advantage or
good
something like this?
Yeah, would I be good at this? Because I'm a Orient variant,
Yes,
and they're
you
good
are.
at like transportation stuff.
Yes, you are. Let me see what exactly that gives you here. Look at that. It finally came up. You get to add a D4.
Okay. So what am I rolling?
This will be a dexterity check. So you can do acrobatics and add a D4. As you're learning how to very quickly move around the upper parts of the sails and navigate through that and quickly moving through it.
All right, 32.
You are able to match Theron's every move as he is hopping from post to post and sail to sail and jumping and grabbing ropes and climbing through the rigging. You're able to very quickly pick it up, and it all just kind of makes sense. You feel kind of a natural calling to the sea and to ship work. And you, with just today's studies in this, you're going to be very good at this. And
Oh man, maybe I should have been a pirate instead of an assassin, huh?
instead of a what?
Instead of an assassin, huh? Darren.
You'll be surprised how often the two jobs overlap. But as you guys are up there in the rigging, take a moment to sit. Well, you can do the rigging. Three of you can actually steer. Suppose I should teach someone how to navigate. I may just let you all keep this ship yet.
While you, do you think it's best that I also learn how to navigate?
He looks at you. Navigation would probably fall along the lines of investigation and perception.
What about insight?
Not really. It's about being able to. It'd be more about being able to read maps, pick out landmarks, check the
Survival?
sky charts. Survival would definitely be in it, yeah. Theron says, "You're welcome to sit in. I'll probably start teaching that tomorrow to anyone who wants to learn it.
Okay.
Though I do not."
Do I get an advantage from my learning of how to steer the ship?
We will see when we come to that in the next day.
All right. Well, I'm gonna sit in regardless.
Okay.
Oh, that's what I meant to say. Steering, not navigation, but you know, whatever. I'll learn.
Yeah, he was talking about the sails specifically, right?
Well, no, I just did the sails, and now I was talking about the steering part. No, I didn't mean to say navigation.
Yeah, Theron said navigation, and you meant actually steering it.
Yeah.
The helm. Theron says, "Well, the three of you have already done quite well on the helm. I'm not sure you need a fourth.
Oh, okay.
It's best to have a diversity of talents on a ship. And there's always the too many cooks in the kitchen problem.
Can I hear this?
Not at the moment.
Okay. I was gonna
No,
help you, bro.
Oh, sounds good. I'll try the navigation at a point as well.
He nods, and he finishes showing you a few more things before climbing down and calling the teaching lessons a day. And he is going to have, as the weather seems like it's going to be okay for the next few days, he's having one of the map tables brought up above deck, so the next day he can start teaching how to actually navigate. Let me find the thing. But X, you now know how to work the riggings. I think you might be better at it than Assad was. I don't remember what his roles were.
He's not an Orient human, so I'm sure of it.
But that's all Theron has to teach you for the day. Solora did some sailing, as did Midas and Samson if he wanted to.
Yeah. Well, no, not if it interferes with the class. Do I see the class going on?
The class is not going to start till the next day, so there's no teaching
Okay.
yet. He was just teaching X the rigging today.
Gotcha. Which we already know.
Mm-hmm. No, you don't know the rigging. You know how to steer the ship. You don't know how to work the sails.
He was showing him the rigging of the sails.
Yes.
No, I want to be around for that, if possible.
Yeah, you could have seen them do that and joined in. Give me a acrobatics check.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, you gotta be very dexterous to be jumping around up there.
18.
Okay. See, you are picking up as well. You are just pretty good at learning things, and you're able to watch Theron's mastery of it and watch how quickly X is picking it up, and that's helping you pick it up as well. This is something that you could definitely help with. It's something that you can do on your own. But it would.
I can do it on my own?
It would just take you much longer to do it than it would take X to do these things.
Okay.
But if you needed to do it, you definitely could.
Bet.
You have much more of a talent for the helm than the rigging.
It's cool. As long as they have an understanding of the rigging, the worst case scenario is tenable.
Yes, entirely so. So if X has to see to the front half of these sails, you can definitely climb on the back and quickly do what needs to be done to make sure everything works quicker.
Exactly. It won't be as smooth, but we won't die.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm looking for.
Yeah. And Theron does take note of you learning this skill as well.
And this is the sails.
Yes.
Cool.
With that, that would have taken us most of the day until the sun went down, learning this. Breaks for lunch, of course. But unless you all had anything you actually wanted to do outside of this for that day, we will progress to the next day of travel.
Samson and Midas are actually going to start doing a song at the end of the day as well.
All right, that's cool.
So we're going to start the day and end the day with the song.
Very cool.
They're going to end the day with 50 Cent, If I Can. He's a great bard from the land of Bronx, Old World, Brownsville. So yeah, that's what we're doing.
Very awesome. Go ahead and roll performance for me.
I get advantage because I got my pipes, right?
Yes.
24.
All right. Yeah, you guys rock it. You definitely. It's a great way to motivate the night crew coming on. They're definitely pumped for it. And a good way to send the Misfits or the morning crew off to rest. But all right,
How many days left? 6.
6. As this day comes to an end, the Misfits take a long rest. Once again, morning rises. They all gather for breakfast, and they have telepathic bond put back in place as always.
Yep.
Theron says, today, for those who are interested, I will be teaching navigation to see if any of you have a knack for that.
Sign me up.
Are we done with the sales?
Well, X seems to have learned it very well. You have a very good understanding of the skill set. You can, of course, practice it anytime you like, but as far as my direct tutelage, I think neither of you need more of it.
As soon as he says you can practice more than as much as you like, Samson kind of looks away in disgust. Like, man, fuck you.
But today I will be teaching navigation. We have a good day for it. There aren't many clouds today. So this will be introduction.
Samson looks up and has the determination of Vegeta in the rain to make this day right.
A lot of times, you have to navigate in storms, and rain, and sleet, and snow, dark clouds, moonless nights.
Samson's looking to the sky.
This will be the easiest navigating it will ever be. Everything will be harder than what I teach you today. But once you finish your meals, do come behind the wheel. I have a table brought up and a map, and we will begin the studies. Let me move the table out some.
Is it possible? Just, I don't know if this is a thing in D&D, but Samson wants to try to review all of this in like the maps and whatever the information, like in a really childlike way.
What do you mean?
Without any biases or whatever. It's like, all right, I think this map is leading here.
I'm not understanding what you mean.
I'm just trying to pick up social clues from the conversation to figure out the right way to go.
Right way to go about what?
Whatever we're doing.
Right now, Claire's teaching you how to navigate with maps and,
Right.
And ships and such.
So, whatever gets me the best tutorship, that's what I'm going to do.
There is no way to be better at learning this, I don't believe. It is going to be a skill check to see how well you pick things up.
I'd like to give X Bardic Inspiration. And I'm going to say, we got this.
Let's go.
Mir is
That's
also
the D10.
going to
I gave him Bardic
take
Inspiration.
part. How many can you pass out at one time?
3.
Okay.
Oh, at one time.
Yeah.
1.
Okay.
Yeah. Are we in turn order?
No, we're not. We're not.
All right, what am I rolling?
Oh, hold on. Give me 1 second. As Theron, as you all make your way over there, and Theron begins explaining how some of the sea charts work, how best to navigate and to find landmarks. He does explain a bit about how landmarks tend to change very often, and a lot of times you'll find maps that don't have very well defined landmarks. Sometimes they will they will have the stars imprinted on the sea, and a lot of times you have to know to look for the reflection, and that the map is backwards because of that. And he starts going into detail about how best to set a course, the hazards of a straight line, being that you have a flying ship is a little different than sailing on the sea, and you have to, since you're flying, also be aware of being seen, be aware of being too high up as the temperatures drop drastically at a certain point. Watch out a bit for migration patterns of different animals and different creatures. It's a lot of information that he's giving you guys. A lot of different tools for the job. A lot of different books and maps and references. And as he explains, navigation is a bit of a calling as far as ships go. It is something that you never stop learning, as Elestria changes every day. New things are discovered, new routes tamed, new treaties, new regions. It is not something you can learn once and have mastered. But pay attention and take notes. You may be a passable navigator sooner rather than later. So, what I need for you guys to roll is give me an investigation check, and then either survival or perception.
Here we go.
And so, who are you giving the body inspiration to, Samson?
X.
Okay.
So you said survival, investigation, or what?
So investigation, and then either survival or perception.
Investigation and okay.
It's all a wisdom save. Or wisdom check.
And then I got a D what 10?
Yeah.
To add to one of them, either your investigation or your survival, not both.
I'm adding it to my. How are they working out right? Are they two different things?
This is the checks for the entirety of the learning, essentially.
All right, so I'm gonna add it to the survival.
Okay. So your investigation was 12, but your survival will be 21. Samson's investigation was a 21. Perception check a 17. Mir's investigation was a 28. His perception was a 9.
Don't need that.
So as Theron is teaching you all the workings of navigating and helping point things out, Mir and Samson, you guys are picking up how to read the charts very well, and to cross-reference the various books and various informations are coming very naturally to both of you. Samson, from your bardic ability and ability to find stories and research tales, is really helping with being able to just take various reference points and put them together to form a kind of 3D chart in your head. X, you are good at research when you need to, but this is a little dense. This is out of your field of view. You are keeping up, and you do have how you can read maps and you can navigate on land very well, but this is a little trickier. But you're very good at applying this knowledge. As you guys transition from learning on the table to Theron putting things out around you all outside the ship, you are very good at this. You're very good at finding landmarks in real life and figuring out the best way to steer the ship and the best courses of action and best places to actually legitimately travel. You're just not so good at finding the path to take initially. But what was Samson's? Samson, you you follow X's lead very well on this, as he is. You're making the same connections he is making. It just takes you a little longer to do. And Mir is a bit lost as far as transitioning from the table to the real world. But as the day winds down, Theron says, "Well, Mir and Samson, you all have exceptional talent at understanding the various charts and the migration patterns and the winds and the science of it all. X, you do excel at the practical application of it, at being able to apply the data, if you will. Samson, you'd be the most well-rounded. Mir's talents clearly lie on the table. Actually, your talents lie in the real world of it all. Between the three of you, you have a full navigator.
I take offense to not being in the real world. Yeah, I didn't kidnap kids. But...
You can.
Hey, don't. I am atoning for that past, Samson.
I'm just saying, I don't like to be judged because I didn't do it.
That is not a factor in being good at this.
Nah.
To put it another way, you can read the music, Samson, but you're having trouble on stage.
I've never heard this song. I
Precisely
just look
so.
at X.
All right, Mr. Chaps.
Theron says, as he's closing out the books and rolling up the maps. But that is it for tonight. I do think if need be, the Misfits could get a ship from point A to point B. Even if you haven't been there before. It may not be the most direct route, and you may run into some trouble. But you'll get there.
No, it sounds like our everyday.
It sounds like you won't be here for it.
Huh?
I'm sure I'll be around for a while. I'm simply...
You just keep saying you all.
He kind of leans back on the wall and says, honestly, I'm trying to evaluate whether it makes any real sense to give you all this ship.
You know, I'm thinking the same thing, so.
You said we have to prove ourselves to have a ship like that, correct? Or be of legendary renown as pirates?
Well...
You went out,
You
Ryan.
have to be a legendary pirate to lay claim
technically.
to a ship.
Anyone can steal a ship. I'm less concerned with how legendary this ship is than simply your ability to sail a ship. It'd be foolish of me to leave a ship with someone who couldn't use it. Now I have no current plans to go anywhere else at the moment. But I have no intention of living my life on this ship.
It reminds you, excuse me. And just remember, we do have the 3 crewmates who were here prior to our ownership of the ship.
You do, but if they are the best adapted people on the ship, that would not work out well in the long run.
What do you mean?
They'd probably try to steal it back.
We have our ways.
Sure, you could kill them. I'm simply saying that if you're not at least as good at sailing as they are, you will be a hindrance to them.
Got you. Understood.
But As I'm sure, eventually, Solora will need me somewhere else. I do want to see whether I should take this with me or not when I go.
But yeah, good question. Where do people usually dock flying ships?
The same place will dock ships that can't fly.
Are you?
Imports.
Okay, just checking.
By the by, you may want to rename the ship. Though you're welcome to keep Cloudscraper as a name, it does have renown. Mind you, no one who shouldn't know will know it can fly.
That was my next question. Okay.
It is not overly common knowledge.
And how early do you, and we'll be able to observe this with, but how early should we bring the ship to sea before we get to the dock area? What is that normal time frame?
It depends how brazen you want to be.
We don't want to be breaking.
It also depends on your schedule. You can go much faster in the air than on sea. Generally, the Dreadnought will bring a ship down half a day out from port.
Thank you.
That does, of course, extend the travel to about 12 hours when it would have been 8.
This is good information to know.
Though for Sethret, I was considering simply putting the ship down behind the region you control. There is a very, very large waterway that goes around the entirety of the city. It would fit.
Isn't Sethret full of thieves? Do we want to just pull up and show folks that our flying ship docked?
Well, I would think to land it at night. It's low visibility anyways. More likely it'd be add to the mystery of the Misfits that one day there was no ship there and the next there was. There would not be any easy ways to sell it out, though it could be done. But as you now have the broomstone running with less than it needs to fly easily, no one without knowledge of how the broomstone works could take the ship to air. And it'd be very, very hard to steal the ship from right under your noses, as it were. And if it were in districts you control, it should not be much of an issue either.
Yeah, I still don't trust them that much. There's that trust issue within me. I'll leave it up to the Misfits, but my vote would be to land the ship a half day beforehand and sail in the normal way.
Do keep in mind that the actual Sethret port is very far away from any territory you all control. You would, and since you all will be doing much fighting, you would have to entrust its keep to the 3 other crew members.
I got you. Well, with that new information gained, it would be best to fly in by night.
The Dreadnought kept his ship aloft, very high above the city.
And how did he get down?
He had people amongst him who could teleport.
Samson? Oh, we wouldn't be able to keep it afloat though, because we don't have that much magic in the broomstones, correct?
As long as you recharge it, but to my understanding, Samson can do teleportation circle. That's not what you would need for this.
I just recharged it.
We got a few days before we land, but I wouldn't want Samson to have to. Samson, when you recharge it, how long do you think that lasts?
About 2 days.
I think that'll be a bit much for you to charge us, dip down, keep that in the sky, not knowing when we're gonna have to fight, you losing your spell slots and then having to dip back up to charge it up again. There's too many variables with leaving it up in the sky.
So
Another,
Samson just put out about 40 spell charges and is tired as shit and is trying to catch his breath as X is saying all this bullshit to him. And he's just looking at X like, yeah, what, do you want me not to do this?
No. When we're landing the ship, we were presented with the ability to keep it in the sky afloat, and we teleport down to the ground.
Once
But
we
I'm
once we
worried
reach
about
Sethret, is what he's speaking of.
I am
what?
keeping us afloat.
Yeah,
It's me.
yeah, but what I'm saying, Samson, is once we dock, I think it would be a lot for us to keep it afloat in the air because you're charging it, losing your spell slots, and we won't know when we're going in for a fight, and we can use those spell slots. So the option is to just park it at the dock.
We'll toss that Midas.
Hmm?
We'll tell Midas to recharge it in 2 days.
And what if we get into a fight and he's using his spell slot to float?
That's on us to figure out at the time, isn't it?
Yeah. I think we should dock. Because listen, no offense to you guys, but magic is all y'all got. And once your magic runs out, it's speed free. We don't have a side anymore. That's a huge power that we lost.
Yeah, my
And
magic.
what Assad will say is,
Assad is starting something. I'm from something. So, it's just different.
Theron says, we are still 6 days away, so there's plenty of time before any final decisions need to be made about where to keep the ship once we arrive. Of course, I do not believe I will be staying in Sethret very long, but I do need to talk to the Sunrise Queen still to see what her plans are for me. And I do feel you all will be in Sethret for quite some time, yes?
As long as it takes.
As long as it takes, but there have been times where we thought we had time to be in the area for a while and people make rash decisions as X turns and looks at Midas. That forces us to get on the move quicker than we expected.
Fair enough. If no accord can be made for what to do with the ship, I can simply take it with me for the time being.
Also an option. But as you said, we have 6 days.
He nods as he has finished packing up all of his stuff from his navigation lecture. Well, I will leave you to yourselves for the night, and see you all again in the morning. I do have some charting to do tomorrow to keep us on course. Anyone's welcome to sit on that. But I suppose the last thing to learn is the ship's upkeep, how best to repair it. That I can show anyone who'd like in 2 days. I do need to chart some tomorrow. But
That sounds good. I think we all should be abreast of that.
I believe so too. That is the last. I think the last remaining thing you'd need to know, honestly. Until tomorrow. And he heads off to his quarters.
X goes up and just looks at the cells to get even better at familiarizing himself with it.
Okay. So you spend some of your night doing that as the night crew is coming up and beginning their work. So you're able to see how an old hand does it, essentially. You're seeing some of the shortcuts that he's using, some of the things he's just learned over time, and it makes the job a little easier for him. Give me a perception or investigation.
Here we go.
Yeah, it's night, so you're having a little bit of trouble. You have a little bit of trouble figuring out exactly what he's doing, but you do notice that he's going about it a little differently than Theron was doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not able to really pick up anything that would be helpful to add to what you do yet. But as this night winds down, is there anything either of you would want to do?
No.
Nah, honestly, I've been trying to think of shit all night to just keep it going. But
No worries. Again, the more days we can get off the board, the better.
yeah,
But
like I tried to take Samson X on a bullshit adventure.
yes, you did. Yes, you
Good on you, DM.
did. But as the day comes to a close, you all get your long rest in. X, are you doing any more research in your book?
Yep, I was going to save that for the next day.
Okay. So we go to the next day. You now have 5 days of travel left. Once again, morning, breakfast, song is played, telepathic bond is put up. Theron is going to be doing some charting, double checking the position of the ship. Anyone who wants to sit in on that can. But what would you all like to do?
X spends this day. He waits to see if the Misfits have any crazy conversations or anything that they want to say. If not, he hops into his boat.
Okay.
Yeah, at this point, Samson's just responding.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So you all spend a relaxing day on the sea, or on the skies, as it were, as you get into the familiar patterns of being on the ship and of ship travel, helping out where you're needed, being able to relieve each other from the helm, from the sails, and really getting into a very, very comfortable pattern of ship ownership, as it were, of sailing, of being pirates. Well, I guess being sailors. You haven't done any pirating, but you're getting comfortable.
We stole a ship.
Yes, you haven't attacked anybody or looted anyone.
Again,
This sounds like some real elitist bullshit.
right?
You guys are getting into the pattern of being sailors and being on a ship and ship life.
Yeah, you got a pirate ship, but you haven't pirated and murdered anyone yet, so you're not real pirates. Even though you have a flying ship that, 1 out of a million people know exists. No, that doesn't make you a pirate.
I'm simply saying you're not getting into the pattern of piratehood, simply taking a cruise in the skies. But
Hold on.
As
Is that what you're calling it? A cruise in the sky?
that's kind of what's happening.
Tiamat came out and it was a cruise in
Yeah,
the
you're way
sky?
past that at this point, buddy.
Hey, listen. I'm just going off of what. This is America.
This is Elestria.
Elestria brought to you by America.
As the day goes, X, is there anything specific you're looking for in the book?
Oh my gosh. What time is it? You ready, B?
Yeah, what's up?
All right. Going into the sunrise.
Oh, you're looking in the Faust.
Yep.
Oh,
Well, now.
did not see that coming.
Nah, I thought you were going to avoid it forever. As you sit with the book, and you finally begin looking into an area of it you've been avoiding, and look into the kingdom of Faust. Are you looking at all three together, or a certain one of the kingdoms?
I just opened it up to the first page, the introduction, the Black Order and Faust.
Well, it's not arranged that way, but give me an investigation with advantage.
I kind of feel like I should do it for Michelle's here, actually.
I don't know. It's not like you would run and tell her you did this.
Hell no. All right. Ah.
With advantage.
Oh, thank you.
14. So, as you begin to dive into assassinations throughout Faust, one of the first things you begin to recognize is that there's a lot of them. As you're just beginning to peruse Faustian history as far as it's concerned, and you're getting very good at navigating the book. But as you get to this part of it seems like the information's a little more hidden than previous parts of the book. A lot of the assassinations and the reasons are spread out through various pages, picking up and stopping randomly, it seems. But as you've gotten a mastery of how to navigate this book, you're able to point out the patterns and figure out exactly where sentences pick up and start and drop. And you realize that the information has been put in the book this way so that it'd be very hard for anyone to know what to take out to keep any of these stories hidden. And to that point, you notice a pattern of assassinations of historians. Starts very, very early on, near the top of the book. Actually, one of the last jobs that Tozen did for the Soul Society was in Faust, and it was the removal of a historian. The reasons weren't very clear, but obviously political. And the job was to remove the historian and to steal all of the information they had collected and deliver it to whomever put the order out. Once the delivery was made, Tozen is unsure if it was actually destroyed or if it was simply a major image cast to make it seem that way. But
You said once the delivery was made, what?
He's not sure if the information was destroyed or if someone simply cast a major image to make it seem that way. But at the time, he did not look into it further. It seems that this assassination was simply one of many steps beginning to be taken to remove something from the history books. And as you start researching more and more into the Faustians' use of assassinations, another thing that's clear is that they are coming from various levels of various class levels, various organizations. They come from nobles, they come from priests, they come from commoners. But for 14, there's a pattern to it that you just can't put together yet.
You said there's a pattern that I can't put together right yet?
Yeah. You can't really piece the puzzle pieces together, but something about it is bothering you. But the one big takeaway you get on this day of reading is that there is an unusual amount of assassinations that have taken place there.
I don't get to help at all.
Mm-mm. He does this by himself.
This is good. And so, quick question, clarification. You said that Tozen was the one doing the assassinations and then handing off the information. So Tozen was like Black Order at first?
This predate. Well, this doesn't predate Black Order. His organization was not called the Black Order. Your book is not just Black Order assassinations.
No, yeah, I got that part. But no, so I thought I didn't ask Tozen his past before the group that he worked for. You know what I mean?
You did not.
So all right, so there goes Axis curiosity.
This that was one of the last jobs he did for the Soul Society, was this killing of the historian.
All right, I'll ask for clarification after the session.
What do we need? What are you trying to figure out?
I thought the Soul Society was a group of people that's basically doing what the Light of the Lost wanted to do. So that's my miscommunication.
No. They were an assassination guild that Tozen destroyed. They were the Black Order.
All right, yeah. I confused that part. But all right, cool. It makes sense now. I'm going to go change that note up.
They had good intentions upon original creation. And once Tozen realized and decided that it was no longer being used that way, that's when he decided to destroy it.
Mm-hmm.
They pretty much had, much like the Black Order, a very positive, outward-facing mission statement, as it were.
No, that's a lot of good stuff right there.
Yeah. There is one 14. One of the other things you pick up too is the concentration of assassinations does seem to. No, not for 14. Never mind. Sorry.
Dang it. I'm going to read and...
I had to think about it. That'd be a little.
Not with
much.
them shoes.
Pretty much. But that's what you get from your day of reading. It's very dense and it's very hard to put it together, simply because, unlike most of the other things written about in this book, this is clearly hidden in it. But yeah, that's how X spends his day. And as another day passes, the sun rises and falls on the Misfits. I think what we'll do... What's up?
I don't know if I have anything.
No, there's not much, and I feel like I can tell you guys, jumping the entirety of the trip is a little unfair to the people not here.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So I think we will
End it early.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna end it early. I think if you want to get one more roll in for your book, we can do that.
Yep.
Okay. So this will be you will have 4 days left on your trip. And this is how Ash will be spending this day of travel.
Here we go. Giggity, giggity. Is that a natural 20?
With advantage. That's not natural 20, no.
My thing started going real slow. Come on. Oh, it was almost a 15.
This day goes a little slower. We'll say that as X is very thorough. You spent a lot today just double checking what you learned the previous day. As the pattern is bothering you, so you go back to some of the other nations you read about to see if the same kind of thing is there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not. Tozen writes very openly, and whoever else has penned this, they write very openly about the happenings and assassinations in those nations. They, of course, like I mentioned a while back, they don't give exact names, but they give positions and they give motivations. There is no attempt to hide anything in any of the other nations that you've read about so far, which makes the way Faust's dealings are written even stranger. I will say that another thing that is a little odd.
That leading army for Samson might seem kind of cool right now. Which one is that?
No, that's not it.
Okay. Just checking.
Another odd thing that you'd notice is that they does not seem to be any one group that was hired out for these killings and assassinations. They seem to vary who was used, and there's a big variation of quality. Some are upstarts, some are pros, some are secret societies, some are just, this person's been blackmailed, so I'm calling in the debt with a killing. Which you've seen before in the rest of the book in other cities, but once again, it's nagging at you. It feels overtly spread out.
Mm-hmm.
But still, you can't really put it together yet.
X is just wondering who is trying to protect him now. And who also had access to write this book with Tozen. And he concentrates really hard to see if Tozen appears to him today.
Give me 1 second. I am going to say no, not with that investigation.
That's cool. I'm gonna get Samson to sing a tune next time about chaps.
Need that motivation?
Yep.
I will say no, because I guess Samson's mother didn't really tell you anything about the author of this either. No, I guess you don't really have much insight that you could pull from, memory-wise.
It's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah. But that is where we'll leave it off. Very excited to finally opening those chapters of this book.
Look, man, crazy. X making his move now.
Whenever it's just X and Samson, some shit pops off.
I wish he had rolled higher. That guy could have really been some shit.
Yeah. I'm not mad at it.
You got the groundwork for another mystery.
I got the chance for another day. Fuck your mystery. I'm trying to survive.
I didn't X his crosshairs for anything.
Not X. X's enemies.
I don't let you in their crosshair either.
You just never know.
No. Yeah, X got some thinking to do.
Yeah.
Chris, I was trying. Oh, by the way, Brian, it sounds like that 100-year void in One Piece right now, as you were describing all of that.
I keep forgetting that exists in One Piece.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, it's cool. There's a gap in One Piece of history's just gone.
Huh.
And they try to take out anyone who has you to learn about it.
Wow.
Including a girl who was 8 years old.
Wow. Dedicated to the bit, huh?
Named her a demon child because she could read the manuscript, the ancient manuscript.
Sheesh.
Yeah, they do not play games.
I see.
And saying that, bro, read the most recent chapter.
Okay. Drop the link in the thing again.
I'm gonna do it right now. It comes out tomorrow, but
Still, that way I'll have it there. That way I can find it quicker. No. I always love when lore opens up and you gotta get to find out more information.
Chris, what were you gonna say? We're gonna help me out.
I don't know. Lost now.
I'm wondering if it has anything to do with that play story. Like that was a long play, and Saeed, Michelle, and Sean paid attention to all that shit. But of like, the play where it talks about the heroes of old and her grandmama and all that stuff.
Oh, the one from was it Lucius?
Yeah, I was wondering if it had anything to do with that.
What do I roll to him?
Well, you weren't there for. You talking about him trying to help you with the book?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know that. I mean, if you were ever to talk to Samson about the things you're learning, there's potential for him to maybe do history checks based on his personal knowledge of his kingdom, what he's come across, and just being a bard. Because being a bard does lead to hearing many stories, a lot that are just verbal passages of time.
It's weird because I don't want anyone to hear that I'm researching into Solora's kingdom because.
Yeah. Definitely a friendship red flag.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, would you be a misfit without one?
Nope. This is prereq.
And so honestly, as you were giving that story, me and I guess X, but I didn't. I guess I could portray this in the next session. But I'm like, damn. Tozin was doing work in the Kingdom of Faust. Did I mention Tozin's name to Solora, and she might take it back to her people and mention me reading about this?
Yes, you did.
So I'm like, crap. No. Just another reason for me to keep.
Does he know that she did already?
No, he knows that. He mentioned Tozin to all of you.
I only mentioned Tozin because you asked about him, Samson.
Yeah, I know.
And then you did the history check and said the information about Tozin.
Yeah, you did that.
But yeah, that was shared in front of Solora but not in front of Theron.
Great. Sponsored by X.
But you still haven't, with the 14, you haven't been able to place them really in a timeline yet. So you're not sure quite yet when the things you're reading about happened.
Mhm.
Except for the one where Tozin's the first one, you can kind of place that. That's a very long time ago because he was still in the Soul Society.
For me?
No, for X still. No, it's exciting as you guys as X moves more through this book. That you got on a random one-off to go hang out with Samson and meet his moms. This book has paid dividends. And you guys learn how to you guys pretty much now someone needs to learn how to fix the ship and general upkeep. But outside of that, you guys have all the skills you need to own a ship.
I figure, what was our artificer's name?
Mir?
Mir. I figure after the, hand timepiece, that's what he would be on.
Maybe. He still has Theron hasn't taught it yet, and he can definitely sit in for that. But we'll see where I end up parking him. Most likely, he's going to be getting parked in Sethret for a while.
Who you said here?
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
But he'll definitely learn it. But someone else besides him is going to need to learn that as well. If you guys, want to be able to solo man a ship. And you guys can always hire a crew and not need to do that. And you'll still need crew anyways if you guys decide to start being ship people. I am excited to see where it goes, though. Glad we got 3 days knocked out. That's fucking dope. That would have taken a month.
Well, we're down 3 people, so
Yeah.
Yeah, we just move at the adequate pace.
But no, I'm excited to when you guys arrive back in Sethret and to see how you guys choose to navigate. Definitely interesting to see where you guys put the ship, because that's a big choice.
yeah.
And Theron still needs to talk to Salora to figure out where he's going next. And whether it makes sense to take the ship with him when he goes or not. Because it is still technically his ship.
What's crazy is we promised this ship to Midas, and then we basically all died. We came back and it's like, no, it's his ship. I think that's hilarious, but whatever.
No, I mean it was to me it was funny when you guys even promised him the ship. I'm like, oh, that's bold. That's a choice.
I agree. I remember you having that reaction and me thinking, wait, why is that happening? And yeah, sure enough, figured out why.
Well, that and just between all of the group's various unaligned plans for things, I'm surprised that anyone would be willing to give up a flying ship to the guy who just kind of wants to have secrets and whispers and shit.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, Midas can have this super awesome resource that my country could definitely use. But no, it's cool. I mean, huh?
That's real.
Makes my life easier that he was the one you guys picked for it, but you know, we'll see whose hands it ends up in.
I think we're impressing him enough through his conversations that he'll let us keep it.
If you guys have been bombing these skill checks, you 100% would not be getting this ship ever. He would be leaving with it. now there's the door is open for him to leave the ship. He wasn't gonna just do it. Like even if Slora had told him to, if you guys had bombed these skill checks, he wouldn't have done it. You guys would just crash the ship or got it stolen from yourselves, and it wouldn't have made sense to leave it. But you guys have demonstrated enough talent that it does make sense that you guys could take care of it. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. It's gonna still like I said, a check to see about general upkeep and repairs.
Yeah.
And then figure out what him and Solora are doing. And then figure out where the ship goes.
All right, I think I'm about to take it down, fellas.
Yeah, I'm calling early night. Catch up on some sleep.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna torture myself and watch Game of Thrones and then go to sleep.
Oh, Thrones. I'll do that tomorrow. I don't need to be let down this late at night.
I'm gonna watch Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai. I gotta do that too. Damn it.
This season's not as great as before.
What episode are you on? Before I roundhouse kick you.
Yeah.
I finished it.
You finished it.
Yeah.
And that's your opinion?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll have no mercy when I see you.
Have you watched it?
I'm on the last episode. I finished the next to the last.
Look, Chris,
No,
I'm not.
Hold on. Without spoiling,
Yeah.
they're in the limo and they're scared.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the episode ended off, and so that's where I'm at.
I know. I got you. I'm not talking about the actual season in terms of content, but I feel like it's been 5 seasons of it, yo. I think the shock factor appeal, like, is running
Wait,
out. Like,
all right, hold on. How big of a Karate Kid fan are you?
I was Karate Kid 1 and 2. I didn't go into 3, 4, 5, 7.
All right, so you're not like a real Karate Kid fan.
Oh.
So for a Karate Kid fan, I'll just let you know they just really can't do no wrong. As long as you have Danielson.
Look, I'm not saying
here.
I'm not saying that it's like written poorly or the story is bad. What I'm saying is, like, those original, like those first 3 or 4 seasons, I don't think they can touch those anymore. Those first couple seasons were gold.
Diminishing returns on the concept.
Yeah, it's
I think that and you finished this season already, huh?
Yeah. I think they finished off strong. They really finished off strong, but I'm telling you,
I got one more episode, and yeah, it's hitting crescendo. So I can see where you say they finish off strong. So I'm seeing it after, I saw a lull, but I just love this shit so much. It's like, yeah.
This makes me want to catch up faster. Let me move it up my list.
Nah, man, it really is like, it's one of them.
No, I mean, I love the show. In general, I've been enjoying it, all the seasons and everything. So I'm interested to see where it goes. Like last season, there was a moment where I was like, "Ooh, they may have lost the magic."
Yep, you see?
Yeah, that was like the first 2 or 3 episodes, and then they were like, "Nah, I got you."
Yeah, because last season got very. Oh, we're doing this again. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, he's just filling in for that guy? Okay. Plug and play? Cool. Gang fights. Okay. dope.
Yeah, but they found a way to kind of like capitalize on that in a non-cheesy way.
No,
For me.
I'm excited. I'm excited